So let's discuss a little bit about the coffee, from where it comes, how it grows, and what is the coffee. So we need to understand that coffee, it's not just a black beverage that you find in your cup and you drink it out. It's a much more complex process for that beverage to be made. It all starts from the coffee farm where the coffee plant is grown. Each coffee plant has coffee plant, as any other plant, has its own species, its own family. Under those species we have a certain varieties, etc., etc., etc. And we will discuss about all of those things step by step. So on the coffee farm where we plant a coffee plant, usually it takes around 3 to 5 years for that coffee plant to give first cherries, coffee cherries. In the beginning, those crops are pretty much small, still the plant is still growing and developing, but after 5 years it's starting to give almost its full potential. Lifespan of the coffee plant is roughly around 25 years. After that, again, crops are probably smaller and smaller. Inside the coffee cherry we have 2 seeds, which are actually coffee beans, while later on when they are roasted. So each of that coffee plant is giving the coffee cherries are giving the seeds. Actually each cherry has 2 seeds which are popping out through the harvesting and processing, but sometimes can be a full bean, one whole bean, which we are calling most commonly pea berry. Now when we talk about the plants, we need to discuss about different species. So we have a Arabica species and we have a Canephora species. From Canephora species, what we commonly are using mostly, it's called Robusta. In specialty, we are using only Arabica. In commercial, mostly and majority, we are using Robusta, although there are very, very good qualities of Robusta coffee as well. Each of the species has its own varieties. Arabica has a much more and well-known varieties than Robusta, and in this course and all other courses that I will offer through my online program, we will focus on Arabica species, varieties of Arabica species, and we will talk in majority about the specialty coffee standards. Actually, the first thing that I would like to mention is from where coffee is originating from. Coffee is originating from Africa, and Arabica and Robusta. Arabica is originating from Ethiopia, current Ethiopia region or East Africa, while Robusta is originating from Central and West Africa or current Congo region, right beneath under Sahara. So that's very important to know. So later on, coffee is smuggled and transferred to the Yemen, and from the Yemen to Java, and from the Java worldwide. Now we have a coffee grown all over the world in equatorial belt or area which is called the coffee belt, which lies all over the globe in the area between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So that area is called coffee belt for a reason that is the area where are climatic conditions suitable for coffee to be grown, either Arabica, either Robusta, and some countries of course are growing both, and Arabica and Robusta. So basically that's about the coffee growing regions. So you have a coffee growing in Mexico, as far as the north, closest to the Tropic of Cancer, and as south as possible it's Brazil. You have as well in Africa a lot of countries growing the coffee. You have Asia. So basically a lot of coffee countries now, 50 plus countries are growing the coffee nowadays. The only country which is not geographically in the coffee belt are Hawaii. Hawaii are well known for their Kona variety of Arabica species. Biggest producers of the coffees are Brazil and Vietnam. Brazil is biggest producer of the Arabica, and Vietnam is the biggest producer of Robusta. Together, those two countries are actually giving the half of production, world production of the coffee. So they are around 50% of world production of coffee together, Brazil and Vietnam. And then you have the rest of the world around 50%. And as well, it's very good to mention that between the species, Arabica is more produced than Robusta. It's around 60 to 40%. 60% world production is Arabica, 40% is Robusta. Those are just roughly numbers. Arabica is 60% plus, and Robusta is 30% plus. But let's say 60-40 in side of Arabica when it comes to the world production of the coffee species. Now, when we said a couple of basic things, when we clarified what is the plant, from where it originates, what is the coffee growing region around the world, we can now focus more on the next step, and let's talk about Arabica species, let's talk about varieties, let's talk about very interesting things about the harvesting, processing, and roasting and brewing. So that's all what is waiting for us in the next episode. See you there.